Rams head into their bye week with a strong 5-2 record, coming off of a dominant performance in London versus the Jaguars, winning 35-7. But hey, what if I told you this team really could be 7-0? What if I told you some of those close wins that we were hoping would be blowouts earlier in the year really could have been blowouts had the Rams not shot themselves in the foot? What if I told you that the only 2 losses the LA Rams have taken this season have been by 3 points or less? Because let's be real, the Eagles really didn't win by as many points as the scoreboard indicates. It was 26-27 and the Rams had their field goal blocked at the end of the game. Eagles took it back to get a touchdown on top, but really it was 26-7. What if I told you that the Rams have had roughly at least 88 points taken off the board this year for one reason or another? What if I told you that this Rams team has had 17 drops, with a bunch of them coming in key moments or touchdown scenarios? What if I told you this Rams team has had 5 fumbles, some coming in big moments? And I don't need to remind you guys about special teams. The Rams have had 6 failed field goals this season, whether it be a block or whether it be a miss. Now look, I understand margins are razor thin in the NFL, and a lot of teams and fan bases can play the what if game. What if we caught this ball? What if we didn't commit this penalty? We would have had this and that. This video is meant to serve a purpose of showing exactly the kinds of mistakes the Rams are making, how correctable they are, and if these mistakes are fixed, how dominant and unstoppable this team really could be. I rewatched every single snap of every Rams game from week 1 all the way up to week 6 right before the Ravens game to diagnose exactly what was going wrong and what points were being taken off the board for what reasons. I came to a very interesting conclusion that you will see throughout the video. All right, we're just going to start here with the Rams and Ravens game. This was the game right before the Jaguars game. Rams won this game 17-3, but they had at least 25 points taken off the board this game. Let me show you guys why. Okay, so on the opening drive in this Rams and Ravens game, Rams are trailing 3-0. There's 2:38 left in the first quarter. It is 2nd and 5 from Baltimore's 8-yard line. Davante Adams runs a beautiful route going over the middle of the field, and Stafford just completely misses him. There's no excuse. This ball should have been on Davante Adams' body for a touchdown. That one gets wiped off the board. Our own mistake doing there. But okay, we got a 3rd and 5 the very next play. Baltimore's 8-yard line again, still trailing 3-0. Davante Adams runs a great corner route on Nate Wiggins here, and Matthew Stafford just sails the ball. So you had 2 opportunities to get a touchdown on the same drive, and you just did not execute on that play, despite Davante Adams being wide open. But okay, you can at least tie this game, make it 3-3 in the first quarter, but you can't even do that. You have a close field goal that Joshua Cardi just completely misses. So you should have come out of this drive with 7 points, could have at least settled for 3 points, and you get nothing out of it. I think you should have had a lead 7-3 at this point in the game, opening drive, get some good momentum. Rams get nothing, it's still 0-3. Okay, now I take you down to a minute 29 in the first quarter. Quentin Lake just got an amazing interception on Cooper Rush to set the Rams up on Baltimore's 37-yard line. So the Rams could at least get 3 points here, but the very next play after that turnover, we had Coleman Shelton get bull rushed into Matthew Stafford. You fumble the football, just did not execute well. Give credit to the Ravens defensive lineman, but the Rams, while they could have had 3 on that drive, they get nothing. So you combine the touchdown they should have had last drive to Davante Adams on 2 opportunities, and you combine this one where we lose the ball on a fumble. You could have at least gotten a field goal out of this drive. Rams could have been up 10-3. Instead, the game is still 0-3 here in the second quarter now. I take you to 12:25 left here in the second quarter. Rams have the ball. We're on our own 47-yard line, almost at midfield. It's a 1st and 10. Matthew Stafford rips the ball over the middle for 18 yards to Davante Adams on a dig route, and Davante Adams, as he's done a lot this year, drops the football. You would have been set up in Ravens territory, but the ball was dropped. It didn't matter though, the Rams ended up getting in Ravens territory anyway. We have a 3rd and 11 here on Baltimore's 18-yard line. Matthew Stafford zips one over the middle, once again to Davante Adams on a dig route for a 1st down that would have set you up around the 5-yard line in scoring position. Davante Adams drops that ball as well. I think with how close the Rams would have gotten if Davante holds onto that ball, you could argue that the Rams get another 7 points here, which in our hypothetical game, the Rams could have been up 17-3 at this point. Instead, the Rams settle for 3. They get the 3 points, and it's really only 3-3 at this point in the ball game in the second quarter. Okay, it's still 3-3 in this game. 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. It is a 3rd and 3 here for the Rams in their own territory. You hit Jordan Whittington here on this little crossing route, and he just drops the ball. So the punt team comes out. We punt the ball away. Troy Reeder actually forces a fumble on this one, and then we had a penalty on Sean Dolak. This one wipes away us getting the ball. You also wipe away that 1st down the Rams would have had with the Jordan Whittington leading to drop. The Ravens get the ball, they drain a little bit of clock, they don't end up scoring. All right, we got a minute 47 left here right before halftime. The game is still 3-3 to this point. We have these two tush-push plays by the Baltimore Ravens. First one, they let the players kind of strain and push around for a little bit. Second one, they don't let them push around for nearly as long. They blow the whistle after Jared Verse rips the ball out of the hands, and he was on his way for a touchdown there. The refs just don't let us get the fumble here. I'm not sure why that was, but if we're playing our hypothetical game here, the Rams could have been up 24-3 at this point, and yet it is only 3-3, almost at halftime. All right, we're in the red zone here in the fourth quarter. It is 4th and 3. The Rams decide to go for it. They drop back and pass with Matthew Stafford. We completely missed the protection. Ravens end up getting a sack there. The Rams could have at least taken 3 here to go up 20-3 at this point, but they decide to go for it. Miss protection, sack, you wipe 3 points off the board. So the end of this game in reality was Rams winning 17-3, but really when you look at it and add up all the points together, the Rams really could have won 27-3 in this game rather than 17-3. But the Rams win, that's all that matters. Let's move on. Okay, we go to this heartbreaking loss here. Rams versus 49ers. Rams lost in overtime with 49ers 26-23. Let's look at some of the missed opportunities here. We're gonna start off here, 8:34 left here in the first quarter. The Rams are down 7-0. It's 1st and 10 from the Rams 44-yard line. Matthew Stafford winds up to hit a corner route to Tutu Atwell, which was wide open here in 49ers territory. He just completely misses the throw. Next play, we take a sack, punt the ball away. You could have had 3 on that drive. You end up getting nothing. So the 49ers are still up 7-0 when it really could have been at least 3-7. We go to 8:56 left here in the second quarter. 49ers are up 14-0 here in the game. Rams are driving though. We are on San Francisco's 24-yard line on the best drive of the day to this point. Toss it outside to Blake Corum. He drops the ball, a fumble, inexcusable. 49ers pick it up and their momentum continues to roll. When the Rams could have had 3, maybe 7 points here, they get nothing. So when we're playing our hypothetical game here between the last 2 drives, the Rams could have had 6 points to the 49ers 14. Instead, the Rams still have 0 to this point in the game, and the 49ers are still up 14-0. Okay, take you to the third quarter with 12:55 left here. Rams are down 17-7 at this point in the game. We are on San Francisco's 35-yard line. We have a 3rd down and 6. Matthew Stafford throws it to the flat with Kyren Williams wide open to have a lot of space to run up the field. He drops the football, and not only do we not get the first down and maybe get a touchdown this drive as the way we were moving, but because of that drop, we have a long field goal missed by Josh Carty, and the 49ers are still up 17-7. We go back to our hypothetical game, and the Rams could be down only 13-17, but instead it is still 7-17. I take you to about 10:50 left in the fourth quarter here. The Rams just got a touchdown here to tie up the game 20-20. We have our point after attempt here in the fourth quarter. This is a huge point after, and we have it missed. So that's another point taken off the board for the Rams. You at least should have been up 21-20 with that missed extra point, even with everything else going wrong earlier in the game. But now we have 3:01 left here in the fourth quarter. Game is tied 20-20. The 49ers are driving. They're at the Rams 41-yard line right now. Mac Jones drops back to throw, and Josiah Stewart drops an interception opportunity thrown right to him. Right after that drop, the 49ers end up getting a field goal to make it 23-20 here late in the fourth quarter. To get that interception, you know what happens? It would have been 20-20. Rams would have had the ball. Now I take you to the dreaded play, 1 minute and 7 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It's a 1st and goal from the 49ers 3. Kyren takes it up the gut. Ball gets punched out. You missed the touchdown that was right in front of you, and you could have been up at least 27-23 at this point in the game in the fourth quarter with 1 minute left, but instead 49ers take over. Rams get the stop. We obviously know it goes into overtime. I want to take you to a 3rd and 6 here in overtime. Rams are driving in 49ers territory. Matthew Stafford here on the 3rd down throws it behind Kyren Williams on an opportunity that if you just put it out in front of him, he gets the first down, and who knows what happens after that. But either way, we have a 4th down and 1 here. Game deciding play in overtime. Rams just do a basic run play. Did not love the call there. We lose the game 26-23. And in this game, the Rams had 21 points erased off the board on their own doing. And then one of the plays really being the 49ers making a good play, punching the ball out on Kyren Williams. You also had the dropped pick, which added 3 points to the 49ers. I just think it's very interesting to see how different this game could have been had you not made those mistakes. Okay, now we go to the Rams and Colts game here. The Rams ended up winning this game 27-20, and they're actually the only team that's given the Colts a loss. So let's see how differently this game could have gone. So the Rams obviously got an interception on their first drive against Daniel Jones, and in the second drive, they should have had another one. Colts are driving into Rams territory, and Cam Kinchins jumps the route, has a pick on Daniel Jones, and just drops the football. The Rams should have stayed up 3-0 to that point, getting a turnover, but instead, after the dropped pick, the Colts get 3 points, and we have a tie game 3-3. I take you to 7:52 left here in the second second quarter. The Rams are on the Colts 13-yard line, driving in the Colts territory. Colts at this point are up 10-3 on the Rams. Kyren Williams has a great run up the middle. He gets down to the 5-yard line, setting up the Rams in prime position. But wait, we have a yellow flag. Holding call brings it back. The Rams end up getting 3 points this drive instead of 7 like they should have, and the game is 6-10 instead of 10-10. I take you to 11:29 left here in the fourth quarter. Rams are up 17-13 here. They just got a great defensive stop, have the ball to try to drive it down the field. We have a miss exchange here between Kyren Williams and Matthew Stafford. It's a fumble. Colts end up taking that fumble. They get 3 points out of it. You really never should have had those 3 points against you. It was just a weird mis-execution play here by the Rams. So obviously what matters most, Rams get the win in this game. They won 27-20. But when you look at it, they had 4 points that were taken off the board from that Kyren run. And you gave the Colts 3 points on that mis-exchange fumble that was really self-inflicted. Then we go to the Rams and Eagles game, the dreaded game with those blocked field goals. I'm just going to say the Rams lost this game 27-26 because the game was over after the ball was blocked there. But the Rams really should have only lost by 1 point here. I'm going to take you to the second quarter, 10 minutes, 13 seconds left here in the Eagles game. Rams are up 7-3 at this point against the Eagles, so this is a big drive opportunity to make a statement here. It's first and goal from the Philadelphia 6-yard line. You have a beautiful slant route concept here by the Rams. Davante Adams is wide open and Stafford throws him high, misses the touchdown. But okay, you end up getting to third and goal here on the same drive. Kyren Williams runs it in for a touchdown, but we see a yellow flag. It's a holding call. They call it back. We end up settling for 3 on this drive rather than getting the touchdown that you had 2 opportunities to get and should have had, but the missed execution caused the Rams to fall short. Rams are up 10-3 at this point rather than 14-3. Okay, I take you to 3:50 left here in the second quarter. Rams are still up 13-7 on the Eagles. The Rams have a 3rd and 3 here. Davante Adams runs a great out route. We are on the Philadelphia 15. He's wide open to convert the first down and get this even closer to a touchdown. Matthew Stafford misses him left. I mean, maybe you argue that this is a touchdown drive, but there's no conclusive evidence, so I'm fine with just saying this is a missed opportunity. You could add 7 maybe, but you know the Rams end up getting 3, and that's probably what they deserve. Okay, take you to 20 seconds left here right before halftime. Rams are still up 13-7. It's a 3rd and 2 on Philadelphia's 28. Puka Nacua is wide open with a lot of space to run in the yards after catch, and Matthew Stafford misses him again. I think you can make an argument that the Rams could get 7 here. They don't. They get 3 points. That is unfortunate because you go into the halftime 19-7 when you really left a lot of points on the board in the first half. Okay, I take you to 41 seconds here in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10 from the Rams 40-yard line. Rams are up 26-21 at this point in the game. Puka Nacua gets a great 20-yard crosser here, gets it further into Philadelphia territory. There's a flag. It's a taunting for flexing for whatever reason on Puka Nacua. This one gets called back. So now you're at 14 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It's a 3rd and 2, huge play here in the Rams and Eagles game because it is still 26-21. You have a play action. You dial up a huge post route to Davante Adams. He's open and Matthew Stafford misses him again. I think you argue that the Rams should at least have 3 on this drive, whether it be from the taunt that got called back when we were in Eagles territory or the miss to Davante, but the Rams get 0 points here. The score remains 26-21. All right, you got 8:52 left here in the fourth quarter. Rams still leading 26-21. We have a 3rd and 2 on the Eagles 18. The Rams decided to take a shot here to Davante Adams, 50-50 ball. Davante usually wins these. This was a weird play where I think Blankenship makes a good play, but at the same time, Davante Adams doesn't really even get his hands on the ball. I think you could maybe argue that this is a touchdown, especially given the caliber that Davante is as a receiver, but you would get 0 points here, so it remains 26-21. And the reason it remains 26-21 is the Rams had a field goal opportunity to go up 29-21 on this drive after missing Davante, and they have it blocked, so the Eagles stay in the game. That's another 3 points wiped off the board. And of course, you get to the point in the game, 3 seconds left in the fourth. Rams are trailing 26-27 to the Eagles, and the Eagles get that infamous block, and they take it back to the house on top of that. That's another 3 points erased by the Rams. When you look back at this game, I think it's fair to say that the Rams left 17 points off of the board, which is huge in a game that you really only lost by a point. Okay, we go to the Rams versus Titans win. They still had their fair share of big mistakes in this game as well, even though they won. We go to 10-29 here in the second quarter. It is 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 42. Rams have a 7-3 lead, and they miss a 27-yard throw to Davante Adams here. It kind of goes right through his hands if I remember correctly, and this sets you up at least in field goal range, or you get a touchdown maybe at best. You end up getting nothing out of this drive. We go to 7:44 here in the second quarter. Rams are still up 7-3 on the Tennessee Titans, and this is where you had a myriad of issues here in the red zone. The Rams are on the Tennessee Titans 3-yard line. You had 3 separate plays where you had touchdown opportunities to Davante Adams. Some of them were good defensive plays, but other ones were just clear drops by Davante Adams. Rams in uncharacteristic drops that we saw time after time. You should have had 7 there. Wipe it off the board, you only get 3. Okay, now we go to 9:40 left here in the third quarter. It's 3rd and goal at the Tennessee 3 once again. We have a throw to Davante Adams, and he drops the touchdown. You argue that the Rams should have 7 there, and they end up getting 3 once again because of a drop. With 6 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, they are actually up 33-16. They have their extra point. The point is blocked. Just take another point off of the board for the Los Angeles Rams. With about 2 minutes left in the game, the Rams are up 33-16 at this point. We get it all the way down to the Titans' 2-yard line, and the Rams just decide to kneel the ball out for the rest of the game just to finish the game. But if they really wanted it, you're 2 yards away. It's 1st and goal. Rams really could have won this game and gotten into the 40-point, maybe even 50-point range. The Rams had 15 points erased in this game. Okay, lastly, we go to week 1, Rams versus Texans here. We obviously got the win here, 14-9 in a weird low-scoring game. The Rams actually could have won by more points here. I'm going to take you to a minute 15 left here in the first quarter. Jordan Whittington has a huge kick return here, 70 yards, that gets called back because of holding on Troy Reeder. That sets you up down almost in scoring position for a touchdown, at least a field goal. That gets taken away. So the Rams are still down 3-0 after that drive because that was called back. Then we have 13:59 left here in the second quarter. It is the 3rd and 2 at Houston's 40-yard line. We have a 34-yard play down to Jordan Whittington that gets us to the 6-yard line, and there's a holding call once again. After that holding call, the Rams punt the ball away. They could have at least gotten 3, maybe even 7. Instead, it's still 3-0 Texans leading. Okay, we have 4:18 left here in the fourth quarter. The Rams are putting together a really good drive here to kind of salt the game away. The Rams are up 14-9 at this point on the Texans. It is a 1st and 10 from Houston's 12. The Rams are moving really well. You have a little throw to the flat here to Colby Parkinson. He fumbles the ball. It was a great hit by Al-Shaair. Ball is out. Texans get it. Obviously makes this game look closer than if the Rams get at least 3 points to make it 17-9. Maybe even a touchdown based on the way you're moving. You never really know though. Instead, the Texans have the ball and have a chance to be able to go and win this game. And even on the drive, when Nate Landman had that famous punch out to end the game on Agumbawale, earlier on here in the drive, there was 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Stroud throws an interception to Cam Kinchins, but that ends up getting called back because of a roughing the passer. Luckily, the Rams were able to overcome that, but the Rams could have even ended the game even earlier in that drive than Nate Landman's punch out had they not had that roughing the passer call. So when you look at this one, Rams win 14-9, but really you could argue they had 6 to 14 points taken off the board by their own doing. So again, you can play the what if game anytime you want with any NFL team, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm just this delusional fan who's just thinking the Rams could be this or that if they just did this or that, whatever. But I think the theme of this team until this Jaguars game is just self-inflicted wounds, whether it be drops, whether it be fumbles, whether it be missed field goals, whether it be red zone inefficiencies because you're just not executing right. You have the personnel, you have the coaching to do everything you want to do as a team that you did in London, and you're shooting yourselves in the foot. These are things I expect to be cleaned up, and these self-inflicted wounds are mainly on the offensive side of the ball. And with guys like Davante Adams dropping the football, or Matthew Stafford missing a pass, or the fumbles by Kyron Williams, these are all kind of uncharacteristic things and things that a veteran team shouldn't be doing, and I don't expect to do as the season goes on. And if the Rams can start faster on offense like we saw versus the Jaguars, that is the perfect setup for this Rams defense, because the defense is predicated on a nasty pass rush that is ferocious, that gets after you, and the Rams designed this team to get up on teams early offensively and then let the defense go and eat and really force the issue for other offenses. This is what the Rams can do if they fix these self-inflicted wounds, and the drops to the fumbles, the missed field goals, to this, that, and the third. I think the Rams can really go from winning games closely to winning games by a wider margin, from losing games that they maybe shouldn't have lost to winning games by more points. Those are my thoughts on all of it. If you guys could drop a like, I spent a lot of time on this video, I'd really appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Horns up and God bless.